r/AskReddit. What are things from the early days of the Internet that you don't see much of anymore? Posted by Relax and Enjoy Life. Website visit counters. Especially ones that look like analog car odometers. I added one to my practice's website in 1996, and the doctors thought I was a genius. Under construction GIFs and web rings. I forgot all about web rings. I miss away messages. I want them for text conversations. This would be so incredibly helpful. I'm in a movie theater, meeting, your mom, responses delayed. Personalizing your cursor. And having the cursor have a trail as you go across the screen. Websites that play music as soon as you open them. Welcome to my Angelfire website. Marquee. Crappy yet catchy animated videos, songs, like the Badger one. Badger 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 mushroom mushroom. Active chat rooms. I was a heavy chatroom user in the early met some fun people, and even went to chatmeets, before meeting online people IRL, another of those terms from yesteryear, was socially acceptable. Flash intro screens before entering a website. My web designing skills peaked with my Half-Life site. The whole thing was made in Flash. It even had a community forum made in Flash. The intro had a spinning lambda symbol that swooped across the screen like the obscure reference glaive in Kroll. If you hit the back button too far you had to watch it again. Referring to arguments as flame wars. Phewick, I forgot that term even existed. E-cards that were sent through email. Pretty sure my mom is responsible for about 80% of the volume of those over the last 5 years. Being anonymous and untraceable. I also wish privacy were better online. Ethan from California. People with their own web domain that isn't for making money. I still own several domains I bought just for the lulz. One day you will be useful. chaoticgoof.com. Prawn pop-ups when you tried searching something innocent. Now that you mention it, Google Images really has come a long way from where it started. Music CDs that had super secret CD-ROM content or website access. I remember back in 2003 one of my favorite bands allowed you to download a small X file from their official website, and when you put their album into the disc tray and opened the file it added a bonus song to your CD. Blew my mind at the time. Regular people whipping up their own website from scratch. Now it's usually some prefab hosted thing like WordPress or Tumblr. ****away messages ****. Those are gone because people are never away anymore. America Online 10,000-hour free trial discs. I think those discs were in a garbage planet on Futurama. Sites that use RealPlayer for video or audio. Don't forget good old Shockwave. You enter the site and you just browse it. No, agree without cookies policy. Agree with our new to S. We've updated our privacy policy. Wanna receive notifications? Wanna bookmark us? This site wants to know your location. Wait, don't leave, we have a special offer. When mouse moves up, enter your email to subscribe to our news, and the special evil for me, the text chat with support on the site exists just to throw enter your phone so we can call you after you write anything there. Chain emails predicting your death if you don't forward to 14 friends. I feel like those basically became the let's see who will repost this posts on Facebook. Good riddance. Toolbars. Remember when your parents would end up installing like 100 toolbars? In 2012, our IT director had installed so many of them with MSIE that he only had about 2 inches of vertical space left for web pages. My solution was Firefox for only work and MSIE for everything else. That worked for him. What I miss more than any one thing on the Internet from my childhood mid-90s to mid-2000s is how revolutionary the whole thing was. It was like a new frontier to be explored and experimented with. There was so much room for personalization, it was something you had to learn how to navigate well, and there were always new things to learn and discover. New ideas were emerging all the time. And the Internet wasn't mainstream back then the way it is now. The Internet wasn't integrated into almost anything in one's daily life, so it was like a whole world unto itself. And, because it wasn't so widespread and standardized like it is now, it wasn't political the way it is now, and corporations didn't have the same kind of grasp they do now. The Internet was, on an experiential level, a completely different thing back then compared to now. That awful dial-up noise when connecting to the Internet. Usenet. When I first signed up for dial-up internet in the 90s, newsgroups was one of the big selling points, the other two being email and web. These days, do people even know what Usenet is? Flash games. Growing up I used to see and play a ton, but at this point it seems like making flash games has gone the way of the dodo. It seems like smaller developers and companies have just gone from flash games to mobile games at this point. LimeWire viruses. Funny how many Redditors here think that early days of the Internet were 10 to 15 years ago, and not 20 to 25 years ago. They keep mentioning YouTube, when during the old days modem it took like a few minutes to download just 1 megabyte of information. L337. I don't know if I miss it or not. It was kind of fun trying to figure out what people were writing. Under 20 Redditors, do you even know what this means? Is this still even around? An old as dirt Redditor is curious to know. Guest books and visitor counters. Those GIFs on GeoCities or AngelFire websites that would flash and say, "This website is a work in progress," also GeoCities and AngelFire. Old-style HTML websites. I miss those. Netscape. Hearing the open door sound, knowing you can finally talk to that boy. This is from the really early days of the Internet, around 1986, when I was 10 years old. There used to be a famous BBS in my area called the Proving Grounds. Unlike most BBSs of the era, the Proving Grounds was a BBS where the user called the number, and if he was very lucky, they'd get connected to a multiplayer RPG based loosely on D&D. You'd create a character like in D&D, and the SysOp would give you a small number of hit points, experience points, and a few pieces of gold, and other users would ask to do battle with you. If you said yes, you and the other user would exchange various kinds of attacks and you'd gain more XP and gold if you won, and you would then keep going to advance to your next level, buy new armor or spells, etc. There were lists of users and you could go down the list and send them a message that you wanted to fight. It was sweet. It was all text-based, obviously. But me and my friends used to get Togtair on the weekends and essentially call the number for the Proving Grounds over and over until we got through. In the days of 1200 BU modems it was tough to get through at all. The BBS was always so busy that we could spend hours and hours trying to get through and hear only busy signals. Apparently, after doing some research about the Proving Grounds recently, I found that it was a type of BBS that sysops could acquire and run like a template. The one in our area was just called the Proving Grounds, though. Most BBSs during this time were just message boards or places to trade software. So finding a BBS that was a big RPG was pretty sweet. It was definitely something we all looked forward to doing when we got out of school every day. Anyways, I miss the early exciting days of the pre-WWW BBS world sometimes. Those were some weird times. IRC chat. It's how I first learned of the passing of Princess Diana. Little did I know at the time that one day most of the news I got would come from the internet. Neopets. The nude pics loading one scan line at a time. Waras. You are an absolute legend for making it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button. And if you can't get enough, consider subscribing. See you around.